Today we are marking the International Women's Day 2026 under the theme Give to Gain. And this theme reminds us that as women, we have stories, we have wisdom, we have experiences, we have things that we've gone through and ways in which we've been able to support each other over the years. And that which has helped us to grow stronger together. And today, through our conversation on the topic, the letters we write that shape the women we have become, we will reflect on the power of words, the letters we write to ourselves, and the words we say to ourselves and to others, and how those words has shaped our identity, how it has shaped how we show up in places, and how it has shaped how we show courage in different places, and of course, in our future as well. And I'm delighted to be hosting this conversation along two incredible women, Jasmine and Joy, and together with myself, Tutu, we will be looking at how we can craft an inspiring space for our audience and also build some connections along the way. And I'm going to pass it on to Jasmine. If you can kindly introduce yourself. This is not any shape or format at all. This is unscripted. So we're just going, you're going to take us as we are. This is our first live together. So we don't know, we don't have a script of how this is how things should be done. So the trial version for all of us. So no judgments.
Well,
So,
the world calls it freestyling.
yeah.
So, okay. I am incredibly happy to be here. My name is Jasmine Nwoga. I am located in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am a Scrum Master, RTE, and recently GRC analyst by profession. I am a mom and a wife and a friend to hopefully those who love me. And I think that's for now. I'm just a very happy and grateful person to God and to the opportunities that's come my way, and the opportunity to be here as well with you, incredibly beautiful, talented, and intelligent women, to share a little bit of me and my share whatever I can share. Actually, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. And straight on to Joy.
It's my turn. So I'm going to follow that lead. My name is Joy Smith. I'm a woman, of course. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm someone's sister. I'm also a friend. And the most important role that I play today in my life is that I serve as a reminder that growth is possible in general. So, like, this session for me today is like so surreal. It is so amazing for me because in this room, talking about the subject of speaking to our younger selves, I have someone in the room who knew me when I was becoming someone who knew my younger self, and I have another person who knows me as the woman I am today. So for me, this is a little bit more than the conversation about a message to myself, giving and gaining. It's like a mirror where I'm just looking through like all the seasons of my life in one conversation. It's both scary, vulnerable, but exciting for me. So I'm really excited to be here to share. And I noticed that introduction, but hopefully, like you said, is unscripted. We could just dive in. If I had to summarize the essence of the philosophy of why we're here or why I'm here, it will be that if I have a message to my younger self, what I want to give back today is that one word called voice. Okay. And that voice is an acronym and it stands for something. So hopefully, if there are questions, hopefully the conversation leads us somewhere interesting. But I want to be able to look into the concept of the V being to value your survival. The O stands for owning the transition in general. The I, you talked about identity, right? It's about identity being your advantage. The C stands for that connection as opposed to just perfection. You talked about perfection earlier. And this
Yeah.
being our first time together as a team, not knowing where we're going with this. And the last E is all about just embracing your purpose. So I'm hoping that in summary, nobody remembers anything today. It would be that journey about voice, VOICE. The fact
Mm,
that on this journey as women, we
mm.
are trying to find that voice, define that voice, and as we're becoming, we're learning to trust that voice. I'm hoping that's where this conversation takes us today.
I like your energy, Joy. And just to introduce myself, you've
Yeah.
all done brilliantly well, and I don't know how to top that, but I'm just going to be as very simple as possible. So, I am Tutu Ariyo, and most people know me, and everything they know about me changes or just becomes prioritized. And the only thing everybody remembers about me is that I'm a coach. And and of course, I'm also an author. I wrote a book, 50 Letters to My Younger Self, which I published just as I was turning 50. And I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter. I am everything, all shades of the female entity, and I embody everything about it. And we're also that's I'm just going to leave it as short as that. I don't want to overcomplicate things because we can go deep into different shapes and form and dimension of everything. But just for open to be open about everything and transparent, we're also streaming on another platform as well. But it's just my own face alone that is showing on that platform and is on TikTok based on request. Because I have some followers on there as well. So, but one interesting thing is that I find really very awesome in this day and in this International Women's Day team is the fact that they've named it as Give to Gain. And when I think about Joy's transformational story, about how she got to from where she was to where she is right now, and when I think about my own journey, and every one of us, we've gone through things, different different transition moments to arrive at where we are. And most importantly, we are women in diaspora, living the dream in another way and shape and dimension. How has that impacted who you are? How has that impacted your voice? And let's talk about your transformation. I mean, I don't know which one of you would like to start, and let's see your past, the voices, the words that you've heard that has helped to shape who you are today.
Do you?
Uh, Jasmine, do you want to start?
I was hoping Joy was going to just jump in because
Do you
that
want
is
me
Okay,
to?
that is
Joy,
her
Joy.
traditional self.
When you talk about transformation, for me in my head, it brings about the conversation of transition, right?
Mhm.
And if I'm to think about some impactful thoughts and words and things that I've had to embody and embrace as I was transitioning and transforming, is the fact that it's okay to feel the void.
Hmm.
It's okay to feel the void. Sometimes you feel emptiness when you're transitioning from one position to another.
Hmm.
There are gaps in there where you can feel like empty, like you're not sure about why you're not feeling so happy and your energy level is a certain way. When you talk about transformation, it's good to really point out just feeling that void and embracing it and knowing that it's okay to feel that. There's always a space when you're transforming. Just own that space and understand it's okay to be bored. It's okay to feel lost. It's okay to feel void. It's okay to feel empty. Because transformation has like that transition points where like it's void. You don't know what's next. You don't know if you're taking the right step. You don't know if your transformation is going to lead you to where you want to go. So I would say that just embrace the void. It feels empty. Growth is like construction. It looks ugly. Just trust the ugly, trust the void, trust the transformation. To tell you trust the process, that's where I will take that direction to transformation, embrace the void. Yeah.
Hmm. 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 Thank you very much. Jasmine.
Yeah, and then I think I'll take a cue from Joy as well.
Hmm.
Um, just the not knowing,
Mhm.
that's always going to be there. Um, I think my younger self was so afraid of not knowing,
Hmm.
and so I didn't take so many leaps, in the directions I should have. So um, definitely, I would suggest or advise the younger women of these days to embrace the void, just like Joyce said, embrace the unknown, take the leap. Um, you would never know you until you actually take. So I can speak to so many situations, so many occurrences in my life or scenarios where I did not take the leap out of fear of the unknown. And today, my older self, I'm asking myself why I didn't do that. Because if I did, I would have discovered my strengths. I would have discovered the things or the person I could have been. So there are so many could have, would have, should have questions that comes. But taking that leap in that seeming void is definitely the strength that any woman should find,
Hmm.
That's
because we
true.
always have to do we it's just like in the in the race in the race we have today. We have questions about um DI and things like that, just so I don't go into the politics. But the question is always, you have to do way more than every
Hmm.
other person to feel like you actually belong in that space. So
Hmm.
I think, just owing back to what Joy has said, embracing that unknown, embracing that void,
Yeah.
asking questions. I think most of the young ones today do not ask themselves questions. They don't embrace, the fact that they need to actually ask those questions and also source for the answers themselves before they actually jump in as well.
Hmm.
Hmm. You
Yeah.
know what? Our brain is wired for transformation.
Hmm.
So our brain is wired for change. So that fear she just alluded to, that whole the unknown thing, I think
Mm-hmm.
transforming is not the hard part. The
Okay.
hardest part is starting, leaping into that transformation. Your brain is wired to survive. Okay. So I
Mm-hmm.
would tell you, be someone who's transforming in different aspects of her life. The one you regret the most is not meeting the new you earlier.
Hmm.
Because I wish I met this girl 10 years ago. So, ha, ha. So,
30 years ago, you mean?
you know what I'm saying? So, like, you're
Yeah.
gonna have like, why did I meet this girl so much earlier? And you know what? You want to meet her earlier, so just jump in.
So I think for me, it's like age has taught me something that I need to take a chance on myself, that I have a lot to give than I actually know within me that I can give it. And I think one of the things that limited me was in being able to apply myself to things is my sense of obedience, or let me say upbringing. Some people can relate with this. Your upbringing, certainly, growing up in an African home where there is so much emphasis on respect for culture. I don't have anything against respecting culture. I hold on strongly onto that. But when you, and it has placed a lot of limitation on women. Let's be very honest about that. And that sort of, it grows with you. I sort of think you can't do this, or you can't be this. You can't be this bold. If you are too bold, means that you are too forward. Meanwhile, you let opportunities, pass you by. You learn to slow your voice. You learn to reduce your voice to meet the temperature of the room. Instead of saying, hello, I am here, somebody needs to recognize me, or I mean, I want to be somewhere or do something, but we sort of lower our voice. And it has happened to me until I decided no more. And so when I get to places, I sort of just ensure that, yeah, I don't believe there's a seat already provided for me. Because sometimes I get to places, I don't see my type, I don't see anything that looks remotely like me. So I come with that expectation that I need to create, or I need to make, or I need to make some declaration or take some steps to ensure that I get a foot in the door. So everything I'm doing is to ensure that there's representation somewhere along the line. So because coming from a place where you are expected to be quiet and all that has really shaped. And by the time I start growing up, I realized I have a daughter. Do I want the same status quo for her? Or do I want to create a different set? Do I want representation for her and start building it up? You understand? So I think that's one of the things that spoiled me, because when she was still small, I didn't even think. But as she started growing older and started asking me some questions, I knew I need to do more. You need to step up to. So how has it been for you?
I think I would definitely, I can relate to that because I have a daughter as well. And I had, I had, and still am taking several steps to ensure that I am living the life that I want her to live. Regardless of the mistakes I made, regardless of, the choices, both bad and good choices I had to make, I I am leaving to kind of reflect to her what I want her to be,
Mm,
where I want her mind space to be, the kind of personality I want her to embody. Um, and I see her living it now. I see her being that woman that I wish I was when I was her age. I see her thinking and taking decisions and making decisions that affect her positively, affect people around her positively, that also affect the way she views the world itself, um, as a Nigerian woman. Because let's not take away from the fact that we are genuinely different. We were raised different, we were
mm,
taught different. I mean, the society also built or shaped us in a certain way.
yeah.
And speaking as someone who is living outside of the country, there's, I mean, there's so much culture shock that happens when you come this way.
Yes.
I'm speaking as a Nigerian woman. I'm not even speaking as a woman or as, an African. I'm speaking specifically as a Nigerian woman. There's so much culture shock, different environments. There's culture shock even in the corporate environment,
Yeah.
because back where we come from, um, the corporate world is
Mm-mm.
definitely not a place where they expect you to, um, to lead, so to
Mm.
speak.
The
There's,
landscape is different.
yes, the landscape, the environment, the whole scenario is just, you are meant to follow. All right, you are meant to just listen, take instructions, and just do what you're told. And then when you come to an environment where you actually have a voice, let me just say some semblance of a voice, because we are still struggling even as women in this environment. um, I would say you have more, you can speak more on certain, subjects. You can own your own voice, you can own your situations, you can own the things happening around you. And so I feel like we have so much, to give back to the younger women coming after us, or even coming right now, having to tell them not to be afraid
Mm.
to take that leap, having to tell them not to be afraid to be who they want to be, not who the world wants them to be. All right. So I feel like this whole, just like Joy said, this whole the title of this particular talk, or this meeting, is it encompasses a whole lot of things. I cannot even begin to list them, because I think for the past 2 days I've been thinking to myself, seriously, what are the things you could have told your younger self? Seriously, I began to make a list, and it was like a light bulb went off, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so many things that I could have done, should have done, that I wish I knew 20 years back, 30 years back, which is why I had to correct her, because actually she became way earlier than I did.
Mm.
Joy has always been, I'll speak to that. Joy has always been a woman of herself. She had a mind of her own. She had a picture of who she wanted to be. And she wasn't allowing anyone or anything deter her from that. So I would just say that, yes, she's finding herself, or she's saying that she's, oh, this person. But quite a while back, she did find who she was.
Yeah.
Jasmine, such a great segue into what I want to say. You talked
Okay,
about,
go for it.
you talked about voice, you talked about identity, you talked about so many things. What
Mm.
I want my younger self to hear is this: your identity is your advantage. You're not
Bring
too
it
much.
on.
You are not too much. I'm telling you, you see this above average common sense that we tend to have when we walk into rooms. It's because of our experiences, it's because of the identity. You're not too small, you're not too little, and you're not too much. Whatever you show up as is who you are. That's your identity. And that's
Mhm,
what's going to help you navigate those crazy rooms. You talked about getting into rooms where you feel like there's no room for you.
mhm,
The fact that you're who you are and this identity, that too muchness, if that's a word, that you bring to the room is what will make the difference. So I need my younger self to hear that you're not too much.
mhm.
Mm.
Your identity, your too much is your advantage, and that's what's going to open doors for you. I'm even too much on this call right now. That is just me. Just
Absolutely.
saying, you're not too much, period.
You're
That's
not.
You're not too much. You're just who you are, and that identity will take you places. Just own that voice. Trust it.
Mm.
Create that identity. Like just brand your identity, and the sky is your limit.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Collectively, we have mentioned a lot of things about identity and giving our advantage. What the world or what we think is a disadvantage is actually our advantage. And learning to deploy that in various systems is very, very important for us to learn how to do that wherever we find ourselves. And it's very important for me. Let me give a short example of that. So, as I was nearing my 50th, and I thought, okay, so I want to leave something behind for my daughter because life is never promised to any one of us, right? And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to write a letter to my daughter, sharing experiences of things I've gone through and stories. I love journaling. And of course, it comes natural for me to be able to write such stories. And I started writing. Then I went for a program where they talked about publishing. I mean, it was just one of those things, sessions that you just join out of curiosity. Like, what exactly are they talking about here? And I learned how to that it's possible for you to publish a story, and get yourself out there. And I said, I also have these experiences. I can share it widely and just get it published, and more people have access to it, and like that. And I decided to continue writing my story in a public facing way, not necessarily directed to my daughter only, but the premises still remains the same. when I was writing, I was referring to a younger person, a younger version of myself, and what I would do differently looking back over the years. And I wrote 50 different stories of different snapshots of event over is it 5 decades? And it's interesting. And one thing which I learned through it is that there were a lot of healing that needed to take place, doors I needed to close, conversations I needed to have and be at peace, things that were not never ever going to close, but I just needed to be at peace that yes, this is something that had happened in my past and I need to leave it there and move forward. And confronted some of my limiting beliefs. I confronted some of the things that I thought I had dealt with, but I didn't. I just packed them in a suitcase and leave them. And that made me to remember that there's so many things that we are capable of as women that we've just put a hold on things because we think we can't. And right now is running in the background of our lives, just like we have apps that run on the background of our phones and are still limiting where we could be or where how we could express ourselves. Ladies, can we look at a snapshot of what are those things that are still hiding, that are still triggering us that we just never know?
Wow, that's a heavy question. Joy, you want to go?
Yeah, my trigger is the fact that I have to realize that perfection is a thief. My trigger is just trying to be perfect, like and you know what? I want my younger self to hear this message. Connection always beats perfection. So my trigger is um that need to be perfect. I don't want to show up till I've practiced. I don't want to show up till I have the perfect words. I don't want to show up. I don't want to post because I don't want anybody to say this or that. So you asked about triggers, perfection, and I once had this coach Valerie. She came on, she was one of the agile coaches on my first teams. And I don't know how, coaches have a way of observing things. And she gave me a book about perfectionism. And that was an aha moment for me. I'm like, so this is not even internal. People can see that I'm too hard on myself. Like, I never even want to see, and somebody in this room has known me since I was like younger. I never want them to see my downside. So I always want to show up perfect. I want to show up happy. I would tell my younger self it's okay to connect and not be perfect. It's okay to let someone see under the hood. It's okay to let them in. So the trigger is perfection for me. I'm going to stop there so that somebody else can have the room and say something else if they wanted to say, but that perfection, just knowing that connection beats perfection any day, and that it's okay not to be perfect, and
Hmm.
that I need to let love and friendship and stop blocking people out for seeing my imperfections. Yeah.
I'll let Tutu go next.
Okay. Okay, so for me, I had to confront what Joy mentioned. I'm going to start with what Joy said about perfectionist. And we have so many people that have joined this call and have dropped comments in the chat. Let me just acknowledge them first of all. Thank you very much for joining. And I will read some of the comments later after we've gone through this round. Trying to be perfect. I've gone through some assessment that has helped me to understand the kind of person I am. And that has helped me to put myself in a kind of, not a box, but to understand myself better. And I understand my default. My default is that I like things to be okay. And I like to have a lot of information about things before I take decision. But I've met some people along the line that has helped to reduce that need to know before I act. So one of my mentors, I call her FFO, she told me, when an opportunity comes your way, Tutu, grab it first and ask question after. And for the past 15 years or year or so, have lived by that principle. Is it 15 or 20 years? I've lived by that principle. I grab the opportunity first, then I will now how? I don't even know how to do it. Then I work out how to be or how to do that thing. And one of the things about perfection, how it came up for me of recent was in publishing my book, I thought about, hey, Tutu, you're going to put yourself out there. People will ridicule you. They will know your past. They will know this, and they will come and shame you. I had so many limiting beliefs. I had too many about writing my memoir and putting it out there because it's too revealing, it's too raw. There were too many emotions. There was the near rape experience. There are too many things that were personal that I put out there. But I said, if not now, when? And I said, whoever will come to come and shame me, shame on them. So I had several dialogue about things that people could say. And I was able to bring out things to counter anything anybody could bring to me. And to my surprise, nobody has come to me to say, oh, to today's or use it to judge me yet. I'm still waiting for the shoe to drop. But it hasn't yet. So there's a whole lot of internal things that comes to play. This morning or this afternoon, before we went live, we had a bit of chats in our messages where we were talking about saying, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've never gone live on LinkedIn. I've always like to be prepared for things, but this is not me. I've never met Jasmine before. I said, Jasmine, I'm very sorry. This is the version of me that shouldn't be out there. And I was sort of displaying, and I'm sure she must be wondering, what am I getting myself involved with these people? So sometimes if I had the opportunity and it's maybe a long time, I might think maybe it actually crossed my mind, let's cancel this thing. But too much is at stake than to cancel. So trying to be perfect is always going to be there, but do it regardless, is what I would say. Do it regardless because it will always come. Joy, you mentioned something when we were starting. You said your fear is that thing that is in you to protect you. So when something is telling you you can't, you shouldn't, is out there to support you as well. So I will ask the question, why can't I?
Why not me? Why not now?
Me?
Why not now?
I
Yeah.
would
So
say,
Jasmine.
yeah, I would say it's a beautiful thing for you guys for that to be a trigger. My trigger, I think, would be an offshoot of what you've said, but I would say it's disrespect or dismissal.
Ooh.
Yeah. So when your ideas, your efforts, or expertise are ignorant, or sorry, excuse me, are ignored by those who you expect to be the ones who are actually, speaking up for you, the ones who are actually pushing you to do better, then yeah, that's a huge trigger for me. Lack of integrity is there. Situations where people are dishonest, manipulative. I've had that too many times that I can't count. Um, if integrity is one of the core values of anyone, that fear of disrespect, dismissal, it comes to play. So for me, it's like I'm trying to do something, and then the first thing I'm thinking is, I hope this thing is not going to bring about some kind of disrespect from this person or that person. I hope me speaking up about this thing is not going to bring about somebody dismissing my thought process. That for me is a trigger. And over the years, I've learned to dim that voice and just do it. Just like Tutu said, I would go with my intuition. All right. If I feel like what I'm about to do is going to impact positively, and first of all, I think of myself. So the first thing I would always do, I think in the last few years, is ask if I feel comfortable doing what I'm doing. Ask if this would make me happy. Ask if after doing this, what would be the after effect for me? Would it be a good thing If not, then I wouldn't go into it, regardless of how positively it will affect others. So let me just piggyback to what both of you said. Things being perfect, yes. But at the same time, I'm also always worried about how people will perceive whatever it is, So for me, I think outgrowing that thought process, outgrowing all that worry, and becoming this woman that loves herself and respects herself so much that whatever I dish out, I expect others to do the same. So technically, I love myself too much right now for anyone to come around and tell me otherwise. Tell me I'm not beautiful. Tell me my voice doesn't sound sexy enough or doesn't sound good enough. Tell me that, oh, you're not doing a good job at taking good care of yourself. Tell me anything other than what I believe about myself. All right. So technically, my younger self, I would say, love thyself so much so that the world can see the real you,
Mm.
so to speak. So I love myself too much for someone to say, hey, you're ugly. Honey, I am beautiful. That's what I know. And that's the only thing that matters. So, picking back to what Joy said way earlier into this conversation, you have to own your voice. You have to respect yourself. You have to love yourself enough, all right, to actually see through any BS that comes from whatever you do, so to speak. So I'll just end my talk there.
Jasmine, you just inspired a thought in me. You know how they say you dress for the position you want?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean you have to wear the suit or you have to wear
Joy,
the
we have
jacket.
to clock it. We have to clock it. Clock what you have said.
Because you should dress like you said. You want someone to love you. Do you love yourself? Dress for that position you want. Like it's not about the dress or the jacket or the shoes, or people talk about leveling up these days. Have you leveled up your emotional intelligence? Have you leveled up your self-esteem? Are you dressed for that level of relationship you're looking for? Are you dressed for that position you want? You know, if when you see yourself in the mirror, it doesn't make you sing like, oh my God, how beautiful I am today. Go back inside and do something else to your face or something. Or if that outfit is not making you sing or just cry out in awe of the kind of person you're becoming, go back and change. The
Mm-hmm.
point is dress for that position you're looking for. Love yourself enough. Respect yourself enough for that respect you're looking for. Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a
Absolutely.
lot of internal work that needs to come in play
Yeah.
to ascend to that level.
Mm-hmm.
And what Joy is saying to the younger version of us, if you're watching us, and when I'm saying younger version, I'm saying younger self. It's not necessarily about age. Sometimes you are here in your mind, and you just need to be able to climb on the shoulders of other people and as well see where they are and aspire. And
Yeah.
that's what we are here today. Let me just read out a quick some of the comments in the chat from people. Mary Lani, oh, Coach Mary, I will tell my younger self to always consider the alternatives. When I say yes, what am I saying no to? And vice versa. So if I'm saying yes to this, what am I saying no to is very, very important. Thank you for sharing
Absolutely.
that with us. Another person, Augusta, I would tell my younger self to always stand up for yourself and don't allow one to stop you from achieving your true self. Perfection is good, but not allow it to stop you from achieving your goal.
Absolutely.
Your goal is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What other comments do we have there? So I have now I don't want to mispronounce your name, but I will give it my utmost best. Lahari Priya. So I think the short form that I've used from one of my friends is Priya. As someone who is 27 and still navigating life and career challenges, Listening to experiences from those who have walked this path before is truly valuable. I have faced many circumstances along my journey, and conversations like this remind me to keep pushing forward. Thank you very much. That is why we are here today, to be able to
Absolutely.
share some of her
Absolutely.
learned wisdoms and experience along the line. Um, Augusta says, so true what Joy is saying. Clock it for real. Yeah. Do we want to say anything concerning all the comments that our beautiful audiences have shared with us?
I would definitely want to talk to the 27-year-old because as soon as I saw that, I had a flashback to when
Where
I was
was I at 27?
and I was still, let me just tell you the truth, I was still discovering myself. I was still discovering my strengths. I was still trying to ascend uh, um, with regards to what Tutu said earlier, ascend to that place that I was always dreaming of. So I think I'll just simply say to her, you are at a wonderful stage in your life. Seeing this, a take it as a message from God to you, saying, or to from whatever supreme being or beliefs you have to you, saying you are better and can do way more better than you are right now. Whatever position you're seeking, whatever the dreams you have, you can achieve it. If
Yes.
I knew what I knew, I would, I don't even think I probably would be somewhere. I can't even speak to that right now because I would be so far ahead of possibly my peers that I would probably not I'll probably be having speaking conventions with people like you guys, talking to billions of women on who they are and realizing who they can be. And 10 years from then, I would be what, 37? Oh my goodness. I can't even tell you where you would be. I can't even tell you who you would become. But all I can say to her is, you've lost nothing. You are just about to become you, that person that you've always dreamed you wanted to be. So that's really what I would say to her.
Hmm. Thank you very much. Joy, do you have anything to add to that?
Welcome, Coach Mary. Thank you for your comments, Augusta and Priya. And my comment will be to three of them. Thank you for surviving.
Yeah.
To the 27-year-old, thank you. To the ones that are older, thank you. What you've been through, what you're going through, Priya, is invisible to most. The strength you carry is super invisible to most. A lot
Hmm.
of people do not know half the things that we've been through or that
Mm-mm.
we're going through. Just
Yeah.
tap into that inner strength that nobody else can see. And just keep thanking yourself because this is your survival, these things you're getting through, and those things you've passed through, they're worth celebrating. You need to value it. You need to thank yourself every day. Write a thank you note to yourself and put it on your mirror. So just it's not just survival for the sake of it. Those experiences, those things those alternatives you're considering, Coach Mary, and you're speaking to your younger self about, and those things, just grace. Give yourself grace and thank you for surviving. Next, where are we going from here? What are we learning from here? And how do we change our stories going forward? Period.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You've all heard all the wisdom in the room. I don't have much to add to it. I really, really appreciate Coach Mary for joining this a lovely session, as it were. And also, just something as we start rounding up is about when we think about the team, which is give to gain. And I want you to look back to what is something that you've given to other women that has come back to enrich your own journey
Mm.
What has been given to you? Three. I'm going to make it three questions, and it's just coming to me now. We didn't prep for this. Number one is what have been given to you by other women that has enriched your journey? What have you given to other women that has enriched other people? What do you have that you've done to enrich other people? And as we go progressively into 2026, what is it that you have to offer other people to enrich their journey? Because this is what giving to gain. So it's not about what we are taking, but what can we give? Do you want me to start? You have to remind me of the questions I asked because I have menopause brain.
I can go. I can go.
There is no such thing.
I can go. Something that I've been given, I'll call it reminders. I've been surrounded by people who remind me that I'm who I say I am. Even when I'm saying I'm not, they're reminding me that you are who you think you are. And going forward to your other question, I want to be able to do that for others. I want to be able to pump them up, remind them, tell them to jump in, tell them they can do anything. And if you've ever encountered me, you know that's my life's mission. Like when you leave me, you feel you can swallow an elephant. That kind of situation is what I'm giving back, what people have given to me. And that could be in form of information, anything. Like even this conversation we're having today, we won't be having it if I didn't have um, one of the people in this room. I won't name names. I got reminders that you're special. I got reminders you can do this. You can transition to tech. You can do this. This is what I did. Take it, do it. I want to do that for others. I want to give them information. I want to remind them that they are who they think they are. Yeah.
I
Thank
think
you.
I would. Uh, I can only speak to maybe one or two people in my life who I would say have given me. One of them is in this room. The other is somewhere within this country, and I would say that I'll really just piggyback to what Joy said because they simply told me that I was more than I was given, that I could be more, that I was settling. All right. And I would even speak to my daughter. Even my daughter said the same thing, that I'm settling. And then I would say that in giving from my end, I think literally all my life I've always seen through people. More or less, I would meet you and know that you can be way more than you are actually given. And I am that person who would push you, who would speak literally some sense into you to make you do that thing, right? I've been doing it and I will continue to do it. And that's possible. That's probably one thing that I know that is one of my biggest missions in life
Mm.
is to affect the younger ones. Not even just the younger ones, just like you said, there are people who are even way older than us who need that information, who need that push,
Yeah.
all right, who need that, outlet as well. So, yeah, I want to be that person. And going forward, I want to continue to tell myself that I can achieve way more than I have right now. I want to continue to push for way more. I want to continue to test my endurance. I want to continue to test my ability to do way more than I thought or I think that I can. So that I think that really answers. I hope that answers your question.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing. So that all your lovely comments has made me to reflect deeper on how I would like to tackle this for myself. And when I think about this, I think about way back. And if we talk about specifically about transformation, transforming into tech, a bit of digression, let me just do that. It's women that has achieved that made me to realize it's possible. When you see other people doing it, then you know it's possible. So that's why I'm an advocate for representation anywhere, because seeing sometimes is believing. And if you
Mhm.
can paint the picture and make people see it, then you've won. So for me, I have various lots of women in my life that has championed my cause and are still championing, still carrying the placard for Tutu. Several people have done it for me in the time past, and I just sometimes when they say it, they will say you can, and I'm like, what exactly are you talking about? They see it before I see it. And sometimes it takes years after for me to actually connect what they're saying, what they've said about me, to what is actually happening. And I'm like, oh, so this is the me this person was talking to, but I didn't connect it at that time because the circumstances around me doesn't look like it. Didn't look like it. The things happening doesn't exactly help me to focus on the painting the person was bringing up. So I would say that for me, I've been given, have been spoken, words have been spoken into my life, letters have been written in words, in text that has been sent to me, and over time, those things marinated in my mind and started taking root. And the result is what you're seeing today. Transitioning into tech wasn't something that happened just like that. It took a lot of dropping a lot of limiting beliefs, dropping a lot of background noises, and being able to refocus on the present, on the picture somebody has painted. That if they can, I can't see myself, but if they can, it's possible. And
Mhm.
also being those people allowing me to ride on their shoulders, bringing me into rooms where they are, giving me access to communities where people that I want to be like her helped me to see. And of course, most importantly, allowing myself to go into such rooms because opportunities could come and you don't step into it. So it's giving yourself the opportunity to step into rooms, to step into meetings, to step into sessions, to go into places where you ordinarily would not venture into. But because somebody has left the door open for you, and what I want to do is to leave doors open for other people so that
Mhm.
they can pass through. Not just open the door. When you open the door, it's possible for the door to close. It just slam shut because the door we ordinarily, depending on how it is built, will always close. But leave the door open so that other people, I'll say, I've got you. Just pass through this door. I know it leads somewhere. Pass through this door. I'm leaving it open for you. Take your tiny baby steps with all your doubts, with all your limiting beliefs. Just pass through. And while you are passing through, I'm circling back to what Jasmine said. Don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. So that's really very important because sometimes we take people for granted, right? Because they've allowed the door, they've held the door for you. You think they don't have anything else to do. Yeah.
Don't disrespect you. Don't disrespect the mission, and don't disrespect the legacy. It's not, it's bigger. So as they're opening the door for you, make sure you're not the one that comes to shut it. And that's
To shut
disrespect.
it for other people.
You
Yeah.
want to now shut it. Want you to open the door for you, you want to shut it to the others. So, but don't disrespect Tutu. Don't disrespect the mission of open doors, and don't disrespect the legacy of door opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very important. We have 6 minutes to the end of this call. Let's look, what are those last things, or we can't call it last because the conversation continues, right? It continues. What is that one one message for the woman watching this that is still thinking, you know, that can create that memory for them, that takeaway?
Learn to
No, go ahead.
find your voice. Learn to find your voice. Define your voice. Brand your voice and trust your voice.
Hmm. Clock it. I just
That's
learned it from my my daughter.
Is it the second one? I'm so old now. Which,
I
the,
think it's I think
I
it's
think
the third, fifth
okay.
third.
it's the first.
Okay. Is that what they're doing now? Okay. Hmm.
I don't think it matters what fingers. It's just you saying the word. So from my end, I would simply just say your intuition is one of the greatest gifts God gave you.
Hmm.
Honor it, listen to it, and ensure that you are not being held behind by any other voices. I would also piggyback to what Tutu said. You know, when you wear those Apple headphones that just you know takes away all other noises. What
Noise
is it called?
cancelling.
Noise cancellation.
Yeah.
Cancel the noise around you and listen to that intuition. If there's anything that has helped me, um, you know, um, so far in my life is I always pay attention to my instincts, my intuition. I always listen because I have learned in the years past from mistakes of not listening and not applying that it's a grave mistake for you to not listen. So if your intuition is saying to you, do this, do it first.
And ask
Listen
them later.
and ask later. Just like you said, your coach told you, go for it. We could never realize who our strengths or how powerful we are until we actually move. We actually make the move. So that would be my message.
Hmm. Clock it. Very important.
Okay.
So I will say for me, it's about um, when I think about all this, what comes to mind is community. Very, very important. The association. There's a general saying that goes thus that you are the sum total of the people you associate with. If you associate with five fools, you are the sixth person.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I think that is in that
Do
way.
that. Very true.
So don't be the best among your circle. When you are the most knowledgeable in your circle, change it. And that's one thing which I've learned about in my own growth process is that ensure that I surround myself with people that knows more than me. Go there and just listen. Take notes. How did they phrase that word? I'll write it because that is wisdom. It's not about age, it's about their experience. So form
Hmm.
a community around you. And when you are in doubt, after you have said yes, that community is your fallback. You come back to them and they will be helpful to help you channel or put a give you structure for you to be able to go. But if you say, I mean, one tree doesn't form a forest. So it's very important when you've taken all the wisdom we've shared today, find a community, join it, and be part of what is happening. And then ride on the shoulders of other people. It's been a very, very long day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joy and Jasmine, for sharing
Yep.
your wisdom, your reflections, and to everyone that has joined us, Augusta, Coach Mary, and Priya, and for every other person that will still listen. I am not sure if this will still play on after for anybody that wants to catch a replay. But as we mark this International Women's Day, which is happening tomorrow, may the letters we continue to write us to ourselves and to others continue to shape us and create a future that will continue to impact the next generation. And I don't want to say amen after this. But thank you
Typical
so
of Nigerian
much.
women.
Yeah, we said we're not going to take it to church today.
No, we're not taking it to church today. Thank you. And we'll see you some other time.
Okay.
Thank you.